Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe.
Ronda Rousey's debut match on Raw, a new Paul Heyman guy teased, and Roman Reigns officially turns heel. How could he just ruin CrossFit Breezers like that? I'm Ollie Davis, give us a subscribe, press the thumbs up button, and click the eye above my head to vote for what you thought of the show, where you can choose from in awe, core, average, poor, and bore, as I review the 6th of August 2018 edition of Monday Night Reigns. Seriously, he was all over the show in about 4 minutes. After Kurt Angle opened Raw revealing Paul Heyman is still employed, we got Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin in a decent match that went through 2 commercial breaks. But when Baron tried to walk away, just like how he did from Lesnar last week, Finn Balor cut him off to cost him the match, because that feud must continue. A feud that must continue in a good way, however, is Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Kurt booked Seth in a tag match to get revenge, but he'd have to find a partner by the end of the night. Who could it be? A returning from injury Jason Jordan? The comeback of his Shield brother Dean Ambrose? The Tyler Breeze CrossFit Breezers tag team you never knew you wanted? No, it's Roman again. Should have seen that coming, actually. Following on from their locker room brawl last week, Bobby Roode beat Mojo Rawley in a pretty dull match. I can't wait for this feud SummerSlam pre-show blow-off. Elias got some decent heel heat next, trashing Enter Your Hometown Here, but was interrupted by Bobby Lashley, who thankfully got to kick some ass this time and not just forget the words to Rockin' Robin again. Because Apollo Crews beat Akam last week, it was Rezar's turn to beat Titus O'Neil here, a textbook example of WWE 50-50 filler booking. As soon as Kevin Owens debuted his newly built Kevin Owens show set next to the ramp, it was pretty clear Braun Strowman was going to somehow destroy it, which he did several minutes later by flipping the whole stage from out of nowhere. For a 7-foot monster, he's pretty sneaky. Mahal versus Braun was more wrestling angle than wrestling match though, with Owens stealing Strowman's briefcase and Braun getting DQ'd when it accidentally hit Jinder. This comedy mid-card storyline is hardly the best use of Owens and Strowman. WWE rewrote history by recapping the epic, always completely over, Roman was screwed out of the title at Greatest Royal Rumble feud between Reigns and Brock that started all the way back at WrestleMania 31, making you realize this really has been going on for 3 years. But for a change, WWE didn't use Roman in the next segment. Baron pulled Reigns from being Seth's tag partner on Stephanie's orders to protect the SummerSlam main event, so Rollins had to go it alone in a handicap match. But there's a perfectly good CrossFit Breezer standing right there, Seth. Rollins was excellent as usual, valiantly fighting against Drew and Dolph, but eventually succumbing to a Ziggler superkick. So the B-Team's new entrance music sure is annoying. They had a bit of back and forth with the Revival before the Deleters of Worlds did their replacing the tag partners on the apron in a pretty cool spot. They beat down both teams for the double DQ. We're getting a triple threat between all 3 next week. Then we got one of the best WWE segments of the year. Renee Young interviewing a completely despondent Paul Heyman, who's heartbroken by Lesnar breaking up with him last week. His eyes were red, his face unshaven. He was visibly scared, telling the crew off camera that Brock wouldn't like him doing this. This wasn't just good pro wrestling acting, it was good acting, period. Heyman is a master of his craft. But interestingly, Heyman never gave Renee a clear answer on who could be his next client, just saying how the whole situation is inconceivable. Yep, that is what that means. And asking how could he, as if Brock is interchangeable. Thing is, Paul, we've seen you choose other clients against Brock before. The masterstroke was bringing this all back to what wrestling promos should do, make you want to see a match. Heyman put over how he's never seen Brock this violent, and Roman doesn't stand a chance. Sasha Banks and Bayley actually have great chemistry as a tag team, but Ruby Riott's return from injury meant they lost the numbers game here. Raw finished not only with Ronda Rousey's debut match on WWE TV, it also had Alicia Fox main eventing Raw in 2018, and she came out to Alexa Bliss's entrance music. After the standard Bliss promo, Ronda versus Alicia was an exhibition in how supremely badass Rousey is. Judo through City, Ronda tapped Alicia out and then threw the microphone at the ground so hard it bounced back up over her head. This was an okay episode of Raw, which kept the big feuds of Brock versus Roman and Ronda versus Bliss going very effectively. Everything else just plodded along though, and at 3 hours a show, that's a lot of plodding. This week's Raw is poor. Find out how Chris Jericho has been working with Impact Wrestling. Click the video on screen now to find out all the latest details. And give us a subscribe to keep up to date with all the latest wrestling news. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.